Hey guys, and welcome to World of Warships with Voulez-Vous. A couple of weeks ago I posted my first impressions video on the Mikhail Kutuzov premium Russian cruiser, and I really liked that ship, and my first impressions were very good. And now they had a couple of more games in it, both in random battles and ranked battles. I think I'm sort of ready to give you my thoughts on what I think of the ship and its strengths and weaknesses, and my advice on how to squeeze the most out of it. The video you're watching right now is from the last season of ranked battles. I've had this game about 2 weeks ago, and this is just a background for what I'm going to say. I don't expect me to comment too much on what's going to be happening in the game.
General quarters.
Okay, so let's start with the minus sides of this ship. Well, some people call the Kutuzov Citadelovich, which basically translates from the Czech language into an easy ship to beat Citadel, and that's very true. The Kutuzov has definitely got a glass jaw, and you really have to watch out for this. Exposing yourself to enemy fire is usually being immediately punished with multiple Citadel hits, if not complete deletion from the game. So that is a big minus, in the sense that this ship does not forgive if you make a mistake. The second thing is kind of connected with the size of the ship, and what I have in mind is the smokescreen. The smokescreen, when you activate it, the spreading time is relatively short, and the fact that the Kutuzov is a cruiser and it takes a moment to slow it down means that you can't really use that smoke in the exact same way you would use it in a destroyer. I'll be talking about my way of countering it in a couple of minutes. And another thing that I see as a slight minus, but it's not a biggie, is the fact that the turrets are quite slow. They could be a bit faster to my liking, but that's just me being nitpicky, because if you use the Control X function extensively and you know how to plan ahead, it shouldn't be a big issue. But I think that is the last thing that I could say that is something to keep in mind before buying this ship. So that's all of the minus sides that I could come up with right now. The list of positives is much bigger, and it will soon be quite obvious that I'm a big fan of this ship. So first of all, as you will see in this replay, this ship is an amazing DD hunter. The sonar consumable combined with fast firing guns, and the fact that it has a very maneuverable ship with a really fast rudder shift time and a tight turning circle makes it an amazing destroyer hunter. The only thing that kind of stops it there is the turret traverse speed I just mentioned, but it's you can have it under control. You just have to keep it in mind. Another thing that is a definite positive, at least for now, is the fact that with the recent patch changes to how the advanced firing training perk works, the Kutuzov, on the basis of it being a premium ship and then being a bit more difficult to change for a money-making company like Wargaming, it still is benefiting from the extended range. And that makes that ship quite special, and it is definitely a benefit for you as well. So, as I said a second ago, it's also a very maneuverable ship. It is very useful in both avoiding torpedoes and battleship fire. Also, do not discount the armor-piercing rounds of this ship. I had amazing results with armor-piercing rounds, even on battleships. With battleships, obviously, you will have to aim at the superstructure, especially I really encourage you guys to try this with battleships that are a tier or 2 tiers lower than you are, and you will be amazed in how much damage and how quickly you can actually erase a whole battleship without using your torpedoes. The Kutuzov, yeah, that was a detonation. See, this is a rank 5 game, and there are still people there who don't use the right flags. But, well, that was his fault, and I hope that he learned. But getting back to my review of the Kutuzov, it has an excellent Aaa rating. It's got a decent range on it, and it's, if you would like to spec the Kutuzov as an anti-AA escort, you will be very successful. And it's in this respect, it's very similar to American cruisers. Another thing that is going to be a definite positive of the Russian cruiser line, I'm not really sure if the Kutuzov will get that opportunity or not, but another thing to keep in mind will be the upcoming radar function that the Russian and American cruisers will receive. And this radar thing is going to be really, really cool, and it's going to make the Kutuzov an even better destroyer hunter. Another thing I really like is the decent range and speed of the torpedoes you have on the Kutuzov, also connected with a very good firing arc. You can both fire to the front and back of the ship, and I found those torpedoes very, very useful, and I use them much more often than on, say, the German cruisers, which, you know, they have a 2 kilometer shorter range. As you can see in the replay right now, those 3 citadels and another one that has now managed to basically erase this Mogami from the surface. And that is another thing you should keep in mind. Those AP rounds are amazing against cruisers, so it is a truly multi-purpose ship, and you will have a lot of fun sailing it in whichever fashion you decide to use it in. So another thing that makes the Kutuzov pretty special for me is the fact that it is an amazing moneymaker. It is on par with the Atago, and I've had multiple games in the Atago where I was reaching up to 800,000 of profit. You will see at the end of this game just how much this game has given me, and it really is, truly is a very good moneymaker. And another thing to keep in mind, especially with the Russian cruiser line as the next one that is being released, is the fact that this ship is also going to train your captains, Russian captains, very, very quickly. Again, at the end of this battle, you'll get to see just how much experience you can gain in one game. So that was the list of positives. Just a couple of thoughts that I had when I was sailing and reviewing this video. And now to the advice on how to maximize your fun with the Kutuzov is to concentrate on destroyers first. When it comes to that smoke issue I mentioned at the beginning, you have 2 choices. One would be to plan ahead and start setting up this smoke screen a long time before you will get spotted, in the sense that, you know, if there's a ship coming from behind an island, or you know, you can see that there is a bigger fleet group charging in your direction, so you set it up and basically you spread that smoke around and re-enter it, and only then start shelling the enemies. So that's option 1, and option 2 is to basically first drop your speed, and once you actually slow down to about half of your maximum speed, start the smoke screen, and that way you will be already slow enough to actually keep yourself hidden in the screen. See, if you were getting back to this video, this is my mistake here. I did not actually listen to my own advice, and I'm going full speed ahead. And the smoke screen I was spreading was not big enough to cover me. And this is why I will get killed in a second. So don't repeat my mistake, and do the thing I just told you and slow down and hide in the smoke. And another thing, last tip that I wanted to give you, it kinda connects with the New Orleans video I released recently. By the way, if you haven't seen that, the link to that video will be popping up in the top right corner of the screen right now. It's the fact that the Kutuzov, thanks to its maneuverability and tight turning circle, is amazing at avoiding enemy battleship fire. And I guarantee you that if you know that somebody just fired at you, if you instantly drop speed and make a hard turn, you will be able to avoid battleship fire even from, I don't know, 10 kilometers away. And finally, educated by the previous experiences with all the videos that I've posted so far, I'm going to tell you right now that I will post a link to my captain perks and modules and consumables I chose to use for the Kutuzov in the description below. It will be a link to a couple of screenshots, basically just to keep this video a bit shorter. And now let's move on to the final battle results screen, just to show you what sort of performance you can expect from the Kutuzov. So that was a rank battle, and it gave me the first star in my progression towards the 3rd rank. And moving on to the final battle results screen, this game gave me 614,000 of profit, just over 9,000 of experience, which I mentioned before. And as you can see, I managed to get 4 citadel hits, 4 fires, and I managed to kill 4 ships, which in terms of ranked battles means that I single-handedly destroyed more than half of the enemy team with a ship that is supposed to be so fragile and so delicate. So it really isn't, in a sense that you just need to know how to play it. And it will be no surprise for you to see that this game gave me the first place on the team with just under 2,500 of base experience. And just look at this, 20,000 damage with 17 AP shots. You know, that's a pretty good result, I think. And moving on to the tab that is really important for any premium ship captain, pure profit came up to 560,000 of silver if you are running a premium account, or 355,000 if it was just a standard one. And you could still max it out a bit more because I use a lot of premium consumables on my premium ships. So that bill would have been much cheaper if it wasn't for that. So guys, that is all I wanted to tell you when it comes to my impressions of the Kutuzov after those few battles. I still love this ship, and I think it is well worth considering if you've got some spare money to spend. And providing that you are going to be careful enough with protecting yourself from enemy fire, you will have a lot of fun sailing, and you will definitely contribute to your team's win. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video right now, and if you did, please do give it a like down below. It helps the channel out immensely, motivating me to come up with new content. And if you did, also think about hitting the subscribe button, because I will be coming up with many more of these kind of videos in the nearest future. So for now I say thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the open seas.